So in this video, we will be going through why 93% of people can never lose belly fat. And being someone who used to be obese and overweight when I was younger, I can fully understand the frustrations and challenges you have. And someone who actually really loves food, myself personally, there's a lot of huge mistakes that people make when it comes to getting in shape, and particularly the frustrations when it comes to losing the body fat around the bottom part of your abdomen. And this is probably the biggest thing I see genetically white people like myself have a big issue with, is that our disposition is that we tend to hold body fat around our midsection, around our love handles. And in this video, I'm going to break down the 4 ways in terms of what you need to be looking at to fix and solve these problems. Now, if we look at these, firstly, one huge red flag that most people struggle with is alcohol. Now, alcohol has a complete waste of calories in it. It's 7 calories per gram, and it's actually toxic for your body. So this has a huge negative impact in terms of a couple of other things, let alone from the calorie perspective. So when you actually look at what happens, most importantly, when you drink alcohol, this happens. Your actual ability to make good decisions is impaired. So what happens when you start to have a load of drinks? You go out on a Friday night. You then make worse decisions in terms of the food you're going to be eating, because guess what? You have the fuck it mentality. And the fuck it mentality happens a lot with people when they drink. So one of the big things you want to be avoiding is empty calories and alcohol, and how these can stagnate over a period of time. In particular, men who drink beer, this is a big problem because it is actually pro-estrogenic. So if you have issues, you don't want man titties and you get gynecomastia, that is something you really want to mitigate and really push against having. Now, alcohol in itself doesn't mean that you can never drink ever again. It's not an AA thing that you should drink. I personally don't anymore. I have maybe 1 drink a year on my birthday. But the reality is it's not going to help you to get in shape. It's going to have a negative impact in terms of your health. It's going to have a negative impact in terms of decision making. It will not take you forward to where you want to be. And if you're constantly waking up on a Sunday or a Monday and you're feeling like absolute shit and it's putting you back, you have to understand Saturday and Sunday, they end in a day. It's still a day of the week. And if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing at the weekends, that's 3 months of the year, you're setting yourself in terms back in terms of progress. So you have to understand from a crystal clear perspective, alcohol is not going to serve you and it's not going to help you. Now, if you want to drink and you have to drink, no one has to. There's no such thing as peer pressure. Everything is a constant choice. The best drink you can have is clear spirits with diet mixes. So something like gin and tonic or vodka, Diet Coke, that type of thing. My honest advice though, if you want to get rid of the belly fat and get rid of it seriously, you want to cut the alcohol, don't be a pussy. And anyone who is a top performer, whether an athlete or almost like an entrepreneur, which is, in my opinion, the highest level entrepreneurs who are also very athletic in terms of the way they carry themselves, you do not want to be drinking. This is a big, big, big no-no. The second thing we're going to come into is the gym. Now, a lot of people think that you need to train hard and need to train every single day. Yes, within some reason. Now, we have to remember, we are the human machine. Our body is a machine that we have to look after. And you think about this from a base point of view. I have a Ferrari, right? There's actually a Ferrari bag randomly over there. That wasn't there on purpose. If I was to redline the Ferrari and it was going to run out of oil in the engine and it had no petrol, you wouldn't be like, just keep fucking driving anyway, because it's going to break. It's not going to work. The same thing happens with your body. You need to let your body rest and recover. And one of the reasons a lot of people actually do is they tend to make the mistake of training with too much volume and they don't rest enough. Now, there is an actual balance of this person to person. A lot of this is going to come on feel. Now, you can use something like an Oura ring, which is like this ring here, in terms of to track what's called your heart rate variability. We do that with a lot of high-level entrepreneurs we work with in the CJ Coaching or fitness business, which is one of the most successful in the world. And this is how we can really dial in the performance for you. Because the difference between you being like semi-recovered to being fully recovered and fresh, it's equivalent of driving a car with handbrake off. So at the moment, if your body's hammered, it's like stressed, it's fatigued, you feel like shit, you're training way too much, you're doing like junk volume, pointless training. The reality is you're going to be making this more hard than it needs to be. And the point in terms of getting decent fat loss results is we want to go from point A, from where you are right now, to point B as quickly as possible with minimal sacrifices. And this is what comes down to having an efficient approach in terms of fat loss, which is having the minimal effective dose of training volume. Because if your primary goal is to lose body fat, and specifically belly fat, we need to reduce inflammation. Now, weight training itself is pro-inflammatory, which means it actually increases inflammation. And most people also don't realize that weight training in the gym is actually an incredibly ineffective way to burn calories. And I'll repeat that again, incredibly ineffective way to burn calories. What we're using weight training to do is to create an adaptive response from building muscle to change the shape of our physique, which will also increase our metabolic rate by having more muscle mass, increase insulin sensitivity, but it doesn't directly burn calories particularly effectively. So you have to understand the gym is not something you're going to be using as a tool in terms of trying to out-train a bad diet. Now, the third thing I want to talk about is accountability. The number one reason you're not in the position you want to be right now with your body is because there's one thing. You can't keep your fucking head screwed on to keep the Doritos out your fucking face and stop you eating junk food, or to stop drinking, or to stop snacking on Kinder Bueno bars, or whatever your vice is. The reality is human beings are emotional creatures, which actually makes us weak. We need some form of external accountability from someone else to keep us on track, on the straight and narrow. And that's where you need a framework in terms of a program to follow, where you know exactly what to eat, when to eat, and how much. If you do not have that, don't know how many calories you're eating every day, what your macros are, you are fucking guessing. And if you want to be successful in something, do you guess or do you have a proven strategy? You have a proven strategy, right? And this is why it's important for you to eliminate the guesswork with this and have something you know. If you stick to it, you will get results. This is also why a lot of people struggle in terms of getting results, is because what they're doing, A, doesn't work because it's not right. Then they get frustrated and they think, well, I can never lose weight. The reality is, harsh saying, but there's no fat people in Auschwitz. Your metabolism isn't fucked. You are fucked in terms of your habits of what you do every day. And you need to understand this is in your control and your wheelhouse to change. What you put into your body and what you do every day, you have full conscious control of. And that's where you need to take mastery of self. And this happens from an accountability from having a coach. Now, the fourth thing I want to talk about is goal setting, having specific goals. Now, not enough people actually have a goal in terms of what they want to achieve. And they also don't know why. And the why is the thing that's actually going to make you get in shape for a certain event, get in shape for a wedding, get in shape for a big event you have at work. Maybe get in shape so you're not fat talking in front of your employees and you don't be like embarrassing as a boss. Like authority and having great presence is a huge thing that comes from having a physique. And when you walk into a room, someone realizes like, okay, this dude's about it. He's something serious. And this is where you have to have specific goals, weddings, holidays. We do a lot of photo shoots with clients. And this is what can really drive you to get world-class results. If you don't have something you're striving for every day, you have no purpose, you have no reason to stick to diet. And that's why you haven't changed over the last 5 to 10 years. So my big advice to you for this, 1, cut the alcohol. 2, be very clear in terms of what you're doing in the gym. 3, you need to have accountability to make sure you stay consistent with it because you're currently letting yourself down. And 4, you need to have clear goals. Now at CT Coaching, we've helped transform thousands of people's lives, been in Forbes magazine, Men's Health. I have personally completely transformed my own physique, and we work with high performers all over the world. If you want help in terms of changing your physique and actually achieving the results you want in terms of losing body fat, having confidence and having authority, you can hit a free link below this video to book in a free call with us to find out exactly how we can help you. It's a free coaching call. We're just going to give you a pile of value. And if you're a good fit to work with us, we will invite you to join the team in terms of how we can transform your life and make you our next success story. Boom, get out of here and get after it.